Good morning, everybody. I am Peter Anderson from the Department of English, and I don't think I've ever read a poem so early in the morning without a sea of wine glasses to mollify the circumstance. As an English department, we welcome this particular event because I think sometimes it goes unnoticed the extent to which the humanities are involved, often in posing the questions of knowledge production, which are so pertinent to the changing academic environment. And nothing does that quite so elliptically or, I think, penetratingly as poetry. Because it's very early in the morning, the poem I'm going to read is called First Light, and it requires as context nothing more than an imagination of what it's like to fill the tank of your car somewhere out of Port Elizabeth on a cold winter's morning, which I think we can all transport ourselves to reasonably adequately by sympathy of feeling. The poem is called First Light, and it won the Thomas Pringle Prize in 2018. First Light. Surely you will know it, somewhere beyond the last cold city lights, the last of that small-hour transit air, sweet milk, myrrh, the dung of standing cattle, a wind farm milling the least shift of it under garnet lights. That's where you pull over to fill the tank, empty bladder, stamp feet on the concrete of an oily forecourt, where the muzak miscarries on cold air. Cheerful coma. So many hours out, you find your mind hangs. You're stuck in 2/3 of a precious thought wrought to the pitch of music, singing you almost aloud. You have to stop the engine in your shook cells, wringing skin, and then look out from halogen day to total night without. You see there this rind of blood, thin as a theory of conflagration, some impossible seam of carbon's own kiln fired of itself under its own weight. And every critic in you screams, lush, lush, romantic guff. The thing is, it hangs there, same as the meaty fumes of fuel, the tract of fatic closer at the pump, money, the coke your hung mind pleases at, the bin you bung it in. Enduring lateral lightning, the crush of smelter coke. All hope of making sense of things combusted, you will climb back into your ton of doubtful sovereignty and bowl on at however many RPM. Day will come as detail, as finches, their handful of gravel flung, as dreary kilometers, as cattle knee-deep in the porridge of the landfill somewhere, and forgetting your small closer for this long sigh in English, myrrh and dung indeed. It's not that you've anything much to say, milling your breath for its dividend of the purposive real, something to hope of a gust of finches, a can of coke, the red peel of a sunrise, poetry slapping in your heart's bilge till it gasps out the usual noises. Yes, people suffer. Yes, the dorps hang on under the spires, strewn with crematorial grit, shitloads of rubble. Yes, sparrows fall, crows prosper, and who cares? Will you know this, or do you still? Perhaps that is really what the Eastern fisher insists, that there be some things sufficient of common quandary, intense enough to look at in any language and make this mess of. Let's say of the traveled heart. It's no manifesto, but of some kind of history, being as that bagman you saw rummaging in the first light, who lugged the same stuff, tipped it all out, put it back. Thank you.